Morgan is a sci-fi horror movie. The movie just starts off kind of crazy with basically this camera footage of what seems to be Morgan and this lady. They're talking, and the lady's saying something about, like, yeah, you can't go outside. And Morgan just snaps and just stabs this lady multiple times in her eye. Fast forward a couple days, we see this basically woman who is a damage consultant, and she is basically going to this vicinity that is holding Morgan to assess if they should keep doing it. And basically what Morgan is just a scientific program of the scientists basically trying to create life from nothing. So synthetic life. And that is what Morgan is. She wasn't born from a mom or dad. She was created by people. And so the consultant goes and talks to Morgan, and that's kind of where you realize that Morgan ages faster than people, so she's really only 5, even though she looks like she's 15, 16. Also, basically, the facade is that the scientists kind of see themselves as this family, as they've been working on this project for 7 years, and they see Morgan as their kid. And basically, Morgan is trying to convey to everybody that she's sorry for stabbing the lady in her eye, but nothing's good or gravy or Gucci until they do a psych evaluation on Morgan, and they have to wait for the dude to get there. And when the psych guy gets there, he does an evaluation on Morgan, and it is clear that his intentions are to see if he can push Morgan to basically her breaking limit to make sure she's not damaged goods. And regrettably, that was just his mistake, as she just snaps and kills him, and then basically goes on this massive rampage. And there's action, blood, death. Do they stop Morgan, or does she get away with her super intelligence and all this extra shit she can do? And at the very end, there's this crazy plot twist. Pretty good movie. So with all that being said, my review for Morgan. I actually enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good. From just the story, the production, it felt kind of more like a sci-fi movie than like a horror movie, but nonetheless, it is still a horror movie. The acting was really good. They did really good on kind of making Anya Taylor look like this, I don't know, synthetic human being with the makeup and just kind of how she's pale. So that was pretty good. And it had a pretty good plot twist at the end. All in all, this movie was just pretty good. Nothing really wrong with it. It was enjoyable, had some really good actors. Yeah, I think just it was leaning more towards sci-fi, even though it's considered a sci-fi horror. And I mean, there are horror aspects to it. I just maybe wish it was a little bit more horror. So with all that being said, my recommendation for Morgan, I would definitely recommend this. I wouldn't say it's like a highly recommended, but I would definitely recommend this movie. It was a pretty good movie and a fun watch, but it wasn't like it pushed anything to the limit. So that's why I say it's not like a highly recommended movie or anything, but for sure, I'd definitely recommend Morgan.